family stands united in our cause. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Pleased to make your acquaintance finally, my dear. Already had enough of the surface, yes? Well, I promised the family that once you demonstrated your resolve to us, I'd take you under my wing. And I always keep my vows.
Queen Hera, out of all the matters you could be attending to, you've chosen to aid me. I am honored, and would honor you in kind.
Is there a wedding date that I should know about, or are you merely being generous with me? In any case, when I'm offered to, there's always a catch, so here.
You truly needn't have, Your Majesty.
We saw reports suggesting that you made it to the lowest depths. I thought perhaps you had prevailed. Though not yet, it seems. A sign of progress, nonetheless. Press on. Something about this night feels very odd, and in my experience, such premonitions are never to be ignored. Perhaps the strange forces at work are merely due to your invocations. Just do be careful, girl. No surprise that Strife Incarnate recently decided to show up as she is wont to do. Eris made good sport of us before. Must think we're fools and easy prey. You correct her, yes?
Here's the gold.
Even titans and gods are quite vulnerable creatures deep down. For we are all driven by a most delicate instrument, as liable to stir our spirits or drive us to despair, as my dear Aphrodite knows full well.
Come now, my queen. The heart's the strongest part we've got, and tougher than it seems. We've withstood a bit upon this mountaintop, but we can take much more. Especially when our hearts all beat as one.
To level with you, girl, I don't know that you've got what it takes to thwart the Titan. But what choice do we have at this point? I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
A rush of air.
When next my husband and I have a little disagreement, side with me.
Forgive me, Queen Hera. Now she's upset. Satisfied?
Oh, we've made enough enemies already that we hardly need more. The other night, given the opportunity, you sided with my kin, foregoing my boon when I first generously offered it. Whilst that little scuffle is behind us, I do not appreciate any such slights. I trust I've made myself quite clear. Look, husband.
She arrives. Welcome, young lady, to our family's glorious abode. You have our thanks for seeing to it that the monster Typhon failed to reach us here.
And you have our regrets that my lord husband left you to confront that horrid creature on your own. Most of the others are still fortifying the palace. Forgive our rudeness.
There's nothing to forgive, Queen Hera. I am honored to have met you and King Zeus face to face and seen the glory of Olympus firsthand. I owe it to your generous support these many nights.
Come now, Melinoe. We have a shared objective after all. And so long as Kronos sits upon your father's throne, that objective remains incomplete.
Hurrying her off when she only just arrived, husband? Although we've little here for entertainment other than Apollo's plucking. At least our enemies shall be back at our gates before long.
I don't think I can remain anyhow. I need to consult with the Witch of the Crossroads. She may have thoughts on how to rid ourselves of both our great foes at once.
We shall find a means of that, I have no doubt. And until then, we shall be better prepared to meet their charge.
Go on, my dear. We're unaccustomed to expressing gratitude, as you can plainly see. Until such time as your Lord Father and his own queen are restored, there's little cause for cheer, I think.
Perhaps soon enough. Great Queen of Olympus, I am humbled to have earned your favor, and will do everything I can to honor you.
I'm bound by wedlock, yet you praise me thus. I must say you are full of surprises, my dear. Or potentially just very ignorant. Or both. Pleased to have finally met in a more proper way, my dear. You bought this mountain of ours a bit of extra time, so we are bolstering our defenses as best we can. Thus, I'm beseeching you to hurry back.
This golden nectar is nothing in comparison to your splendor, Queen Hera, but it's the very best we have where I am from. To your eternal beauty, grace, and wisdom.
You needn't be a flatterer, you know. I aid you not from love, but from necessity. If there's a lesson I can impart, it's that you ought to keep your guard up at all times. It's blasted Typhon, girl. The worst monstrosity you can imagine. Kronos up and decided to wake him from his deathly slumber and pointed him towards us. So what if we cannot die? Things can still be very bad for us.
Valuable enough.
We've a long-standing partnership with your good boatman there. I bring mortals into being and marry them off after a bit. And he takes them yonder to your realm. Or used to, anyway.
We got that monstrous fiend once more, young lady, thanks most certainly to you. Such courage in the face of catastrophe. And our palace remains safe and secure. And further reinforced should Typhon try for us again.
You were splendid, my dear. Had things grown any more dire, we were preparing for a last resort a son of ours developed. But the cost of it is high indeed. Thus, you have saved us in more ways than one.
It's my pleasure to have been of service to our family, Queen Hera, and to see the wonders of these halls once more. Perhaps we may yet permanently dissuade Typhon soon.
And what do you have in mind on that account? Our own research has yet to yield the force that could take Typhon without also taking this entire mountain down. He's even fiercer now than when he first attacked us long ago.
I've gathered useful specimens of Typhon's flesh, and we've been studying how we can use it in our craft. But we don't yet have meaningful progress to share.
Oh, come now. Driving back that monster more than once is progress meaningful enough. My lord husband thought that your first such victory could have simply been a fluke.
Now, what I said, dear wife, was that a single victory against Typhon did not prove more such victories could be achieved. But now you've demonstrated otherwise, Melinoi, and spurred our hope that we shall rid ourselves of this foul menace soon enough.
King Zeus, Queen Hera, by your leave I ought return with what I found, in case it leads to new discoveries about how we can do just that. Thank you all for your continued aid.
You have our gratitude in kind.
There you are again, my dear. Pity to have only met in circumstances such as these. Yet families all go through their ups and downs, yes? Let me help you help us all. How my lord husband scoffed when first I brought forth that perhaps this deadly witch niece of his, raised from infancy to vanquish time itself, could also be of benefit against the Titan siege. Glad I won that out.
Hera, dear, of course we reached agreement on that matter, else my good niece would not be here now. Though tell us, Melinoi, what news of a lasting solution to our predicament? Typhon shows no interest in turning away.
We're getting closer to something. It's very likely that the means we use to rid ourselves of one of our great foes shall be the key to ridding ourselves of the other, though we have not achieved those means as yet.
You hear that, Zeus? The greatest inconveniences we face may be resolved at once. We so like doing things efficiently.
You need but tell us what else must be done to facilitate this outcome, Melinoi. Olympus stands at your disposal here.
Please hold out as long as possible, for your blessings and support are invaluable. I may be gone for some nights as I turn my attention to Kronos. His power reawakened Typhon, and that same power could unravel him.
May it be thus. We'd ask you take your time, my dear, but there's no telling how much we can spare. Nevertheless, tread carefully, and we shall be awaiting your return. Take care.
Till we meet again.
Old Typhon suffered a bit of a spill last night, but already is beginning to stir, Hermes reports. His target clearly is our summit. If only he were as easy to thwart as to predict. This matter with Kronos, it may seem unconscionable that a parent could resent their own children. But let me tell you, girl, there are moments when I almost sympathize. Your poor father. You must have been the jewel in his eye, only to have been ripped away. He would have been so very proud. Well, perhaps not proud as such. He was never big on taking pride in anything, now that I think on it. I'm proud of you, at least. Wealth cannot be measured in mere coin. The very idea is absurd. Yet, there you are, paying for goods and services as though Kronos has already prevailed. Remember, girl, this world is ours by right, The Fates themselves decided it. Now Kronos seeks to overthrow our reign? He already had his opportunity to rule. There is no going back to how things were. The Fates are gone then, yes? According to Hermes? Quite the unfortunate turn of events, if true. Well, if Kronos is bent on vengeance, it only makes sense that he would take it out on them, not just on us. Not that I could put another arrow in between the eyes of Kronos again myself, but alas, you're closer, and I'm stuck. Kill him for me, would you? Confronted Polyphemus, have you then? That is the sort of help Kronos employs. A hollow fool, but strong, admittedly. No sneaking past him, I'm afraid. We've tried. Our family's unity does not come cheap. We all must work together to ensure the bonds connecting us don't fray, or split entirely, as was the case with Kronos. My lord husband knows this better than anyone, don't you, Zeus?
You're quite right here that marriage can most certainly begin to feel like work. It was so easy for us in the early days, but our responsibilities have grown since, haven't they? Typhon is not backing down, though we shall drive him back each night he deigns to threaten us, if that is what it takes.
Either that, or we could probably destroy him, along with this mountain and a good portion of the surrounding countryside. Although, where would we live thereafter?
We needn't weigh that possibility at all, Hera, my dear. Best not to even speak of it. Melinoe assured us Typhon could be dealt with in a different way.
I've not intended to make promises on that account, Lord Uncle. Though I shall do everything in my power to ensure Olympus stands while Typhon falls. I just need to concentrate on Kronos for a while.
Well then, pardon my bluntness, my dear, but why aren't you in your underworld? We now can hold our own, you've seen, but we cannot reach the Titan ourselves.
Do as you must, Melinoe. We shall be waiting to hear word of your success in Tartarus, and you can count on all our blessings on the way.
Come back soon. We cannot always reach you in those depths, though your boatman seems to have no trouble at all. Keeps to himself, fends for himself. I quite like him. I always knew Kronos would return. Zeus kept saying I was fearful over nothing. We buried the old wretch in the depths of Tartarus after all. But he's a deathless titan. Time, it seems, slipped through our fingers.
We've rid ourselves of Typhon for the time, but not for good. If Kronos stands between us and that outcome, then we urge you to pursue him next.
My lord husband does not mean to pressure you, I'm sure, my dear. But do feel free to leave the defense of the mountain to us whilst tending to any other matters.
Your Majesty.
They said you weren't cut out for being above ground. Some underworld curse holding you back. I'd not believe the hearsay for a moment, and sure enough. Perhaps they merely fear your potential. At least this was a shorter delivery for your trusted boatman, compared with having to drag our boons all the way into the underworld. Although, he probably prefers it there.
Oh, my good niece, you are extraordinary, truly. So far as we can tell, no trace of that monstrosity remains. The deed is done. Typhon is dead.
My lord husband has been premature to declare victory before, so I shall not believe a word of this until I hear it from your lips. Perhaps not even then.
The father of all monsters is undone. Not merely dead, but eradicated, using the power of the Titan of Time and a bit of assistance from father's favored spear, Gygaros.
You hear that, Hera dear? I told you young Melinoe was certain to prevail on our behalf. Our family always triumphs when we stand together with a common purpose.
I remain utterly in shock. Well now, girl, if you have truly quashed that monstrous threat, then do prepare yourself for all of us to claim we never doubted you at any point. My lord husband is already starting.
If you had not believed in me, Queen Hera, then perhaps Typhon would have been here in my stead. So thank you all. And now an even greater victory is within reach.
The Titan Kronos. You mean to likewise destroy him using the methods you employed this very night?
If necessary. Though this power that you witnessed was for Typhon alone, and likewise what we planned for Kronos is fit only for him. The Deathless cannot be destroyed unless they threaten the very fabric of the weavings of the Fates.
No time for feasting till the other deed is done then, yes? That's fine. The Titan's forces may grow far more desperate now, a possibility for which we ought prepare. We shall lend you all the strength we can for your own final assault. Goodbye.
Be well.
rid us of that blasted Typhon. Never have we faced such an overwhelming threat, and all we could do was keep him at bay. Now we have the upper hand again because of you, my dear. We goddesses can be too proud to beg for aid. I'd never stoop to it myself. Why bother when my hard-headed sister Hestia shall insist on intervening anyway? And at this very moment, whilst I speak...
Because respectfully, you just don't know what's good for you, O Queen. Sometimes it's ones can't bring themselves to ask for help that need it most. Now, why don't we set a proper example for the latest unceremonious addition to our family?
My word, girl. To have delivered a groveling, impotent Kronos right into our hands after having utterly destroyed Typhon. One astonishing feat after another, even for a goddess of your pedigree. How can we ever repay you?
Grandfather with the king and queen.
Now do you see, my son? Although the Typhon with whom you already clashed is gone, there could have been certain circumstances under which he remained. One fewer now, of course.
And how many of these circumstances are there, would you say, Father? For we cannot expect Melinoi to battle to our mountaintop for all eternity.
Speaking of which, welcome again, my dear. We were just having ourselves a bit of a chat with your grandfather. We've not decided what to do with him as yet, you see.
Oh, hello, granddaughter. I had assured the king and queen that you would be victorious again, for you had been victorious before. Thank you for validating my theories.
Oh, you're welcome. King Zeus, Queen Hera. I can attest these possibilities of Typhon do appear to exist, having just found one with Grandfather's assistance and eradicated it.
Typhon is closer to a shade of himself now. The possibility of his dominion over Olympus has grown faint, and fainter still with each of your successes. But how many are required, I unfortunately cannot calculate.
And why not? Perhaps if we persuaded you sufficiently, Titan, you'd be inclined to answer in a more straightforward way.
I have but recently learned of these possibilities myself. Time is flowing freely forth for the most part. My granddaughter merely can ensure that there are no obstructions of concern. At her convenience, of course.
And I would see to that, however long it takes. By your leave, of course, O King and Queen. I ask that you permit Grandfather to carry on. Thus far, he's been true to his word.
We do have something suitable for you in mind, Father, but due to matters of security, our palace henceforth is to be sealed off. Melinoi, perhaps when your mother resumes her yearly travels here, you may come visit again.
We've been such awful hosts to you, my dear. We never intended for any of this to occur. But we have pledged you our support before, and you shall have it for as long as you require, even if we bicker over it now and again. Fare you well.
Be safe.
Grandmother.
Granddaughter.
You truly rid us of that blasted Typhon. Never have we faced such an overwhelming threat, and all we could do was keep him at bay. Now we have the upper hand again because of you, my dear. Such power you possess, my dear. Whatever it is you did to Typhon, that's a secret to be guarded well. We could keep it for you. Our vaults have never once been breached. Think on it, yes? That last resort, which we would have used against Typhon, had you not found more of a targeted solution, clearly something Hephaestus has been working on, half-heartedly. Would have cost my son his favored forge, and more. You never even got to see the palace proper, my dear. It's not presentable anyhow. Perhaps by the time your father's house is back in order, ours shall be as well. I quite insist you visit at that point.
How could I possibly refuse?
This swarthy son of mine is more a draw to you than I. You wish to test me, I shall test you back, my dear. Please, do remember that.
Here you are.
I know full well we cannot stand on ceremony whilst our entire way of life is under threat. Yet surely my dear son Hephaestus here need not be so uncouth at every opportunity.
Not like you ever taught me proper manners, Mum. Fortunately, I did learn a couple things, even without having a role model like you or Dad around to set me straight. Just watch. And witchy too.
Headed down to check on your mother and father, my dear? The House of Hades probably could use your touch. If only my own children would be so considerate. Though I suppose they are still aiding you. Time to to believe that Kronos truly doesn't know where he left the three fates. The weavers of destiny themselves, misplaced and forgotten like some trinkets. They're probably enjoying being rid of all of us.
To the Queen of Olympus, long may you reign, and may that reign be one of great prosperity and peace, both for your devoted family and subjects, and for you.
Go on, girl. We each know I'm not really your queen. You're not even an Olympian. So why did you drop the act? Or if it's not an act, wise up. This is a complicated world. You've seen the morning fields within your underworld, yes? A solid portion of the residents there are due to failed marriages. Most typically their own. I bless each matrimony that I can, but it can only do so much. I can barely reach you as it is within that murk, and you seem even farther away now. The very outskirts of your father's realm, is it? That's not the customary path into the underworld. Traveling this way again, are you, my dear? Doubtless to put the nonsensical theories of your Titan grandfather to the test. If you detect even a whiff of lies, do tell. Even if we're to be merciful, we still mustn't be fools.
Queen Hera, though these exchanges between us must necessarily be brief, I'm grateful for each moment you can spare. I know your family needs you, and Olympus needs you, and your devotion to each is abundantly clear.
Well, my dear, if you find no future to be had in your witchcraft, you could always take up theatrics. For I very nearly believed your every word. Honesty is not our family's trade, but I commend your effort anyhow. My lord husband and Prometheus are not on, shall we say, the best of terms, and that Titan has made clear what he thinks of us goddesses and gods. Yet now we're tolerating him to clean the mess he helped create. Absurd.
You may not trust me at my word, O Queen, but with this offering of nectar, you shall find I bear no falsehoods or duplicitous intent. You're not just royalty to me. You're my great aunt, and as glorious as I could have imagined.
You're really serious, aren't you? Look, girl, you don't seem to understand what it's like on this mountain. There is no margin for error here, no room to slip, although perhaps you've had a taste of that sort of pressure for yourself. You always were one of the best hopes that we had in this, my dear. But frankly, I had little faith we would prevail, with you or without. So for this once, I'm pleased to have been wrong, and shall not soon forget all that you've done.
Of late, even my radiant young sister must sully her delicate hands in all the field work that must be done. She is even beginning to take to it. Aren't you, Hera, our queen?
Oh, Demeter, these hands have seen more than you know. I simply do not flaunt the hardships I've endured. One can be as strong as a rock without taking on its texture.
Thank you for holding our family together through the most trying of times, Queen Hera, and for having faith in me to make a difference. May the sweetness of this ambrosia start to dull the memory of our bitter struggles.
That's very kind of you, my dear. But my memory is long and sharp, and I've not let it dull on purpose or otherwise. Our memories embolden us and keep us from repeating our mistakes. Thank the fates I was not mistaken about you. Mortals complained their city of Hera was forsaken by the gods, yet here we are, ungrateful wretches. Not had many weddings of late, not many funerals either. Though lots of death, destruction, and the like.
Niece, I expect from you only the best behavior, manners, and performance in the presence of my dear beloved wife, without whom I would be the merest shadow of my greatness.
The truest words you've spoken in quite some time, husband. And I'm more than just your dear beloved wife, aren't I? Seeing as I am the blasted queen. Not that your authority or mine has been worth much of anything of late. Word reached me you've encountered mighty Heracles. Big, thick-headed fellow. You're not to aid him in his labors. Do you understand? He's in the middle of what we Olympians like to call a journey of self-discovery. My husband is very accustomed to getting his way. You need not indulge him so. That shall be all, I think. This type of squabble is beneath us both. Where is that Hermes when you need him? Have you seen him lately, girl? Always flitting about, impossible to pin down. Ugh, what news could there be to deliver at a time like this? My husband Zeus and I have spirited debates regarding how you may ensure our victory. He is too proud to seek your help here on our mountaintop, whilst I would welcome it with open arms. So, come along. A single, capable combatant striking our enemies from their exposed flanks may be just what we require to drive them back. Looks like you're up for the job tonight.
Hey, my little niece. I'm here with the spectacular Queen Hera, fairest wife of my distinguished brother and all that. Shame I have never found myself a perfect mate as she. You'd bless us if I did, wouldn't you, Hera?
Oh, I'll assuredly bless you and your beloved mate, whomever they may be, Poseidon. Perhaps when all of this is over, you may resume your search in earnest. But until such time, get your mind out of the gutter. That's Heracles, Zeus's lad, you know. Glory of Hera. I should be honored. He's just another mouth for me to feed, and one with quite an appetite at that. But I'll keep him busy, sure. We need all the help we can get.
The might of Olympus.
Whom do you take me for? You think I shall simply roll over and accept this? We ought be forming strong alliances, not at each other's throats.
My mum, the Queen, could not believe that you and I had been conversing lately, Witchy, so I had to prove it to her, you understand. Though it seems she wants to be conversing in me stead.
My son Hephaestus need only prove he can exude the confidence befitting a god, rather than whatever it is he exudes instead. He's made himself useful at least, yes? I don't see why you keep heading this way when it's your underworld that seems to need more help. The mountain's fine. Well, mostly. Other than these remnant forces of the Titan ruffling our feathers still. The fates are found. Such a relief. Our destinies are safely back in their hands. I was beginning to fear the course of our futures would forever be ours to decide. Perhaps once we're older and more responsible. Good evening, my dear. We're not taking any chances, girl. For instance, we are not above having our blessings transported like common parcels, if in so doing we ensure your victory and ours. A new age is to dawn soon enough, is that it? That much the three fates can guarantee, but otherwise we can do as we please. Well, fine. If mortals think they can get on without our intervention, I should like to see them try.
Not always big on family business, though I take exception for my little sis. She, of all goddesses, has to put up with the most around here. And that's not even counting all this Chronos stuff. How do you manage it all, Queen?
I manage it one evening at a time is how, sister. Perhaps we shall have to burn the old world down and start anew. But I can think of none more suited should the need arise. Most all of us have a taste for violence, girl. But my son Ares takes it to a quite uncomfortable extreme. He may be useful in such times, but we mustn't let him get too excited. The Titan Kronos is no father of mine, but your father sprang from him, as did my husband and Poseidon as well. So, now we're all tied up in this little family affair. The goddess of love, always one step ahead of me. How many mortals do you suppose would seek me out to bless their wedding vows had Aphrodite not already worked her charms on them? It seems our strengths go hand in hand.
A little gift. Be on your best behavior now, gorgeous, for I present to you our most resplendent queen. No stranger to the ways of war, or to extinguishing the wretchedness that festers in the hearts of the wicked. Behold, our Lady Hera!
I think we're past the need for such pomp, Aphrodite. But then, more goddesses ought better understand the need to keep appearances, even in troubled times. Especially in troubled times. What my sister may lack for youth, she makes up for with wisdom. Is that it? Why are we fighting, Blast? You truly are one of us to get such a rise out of me. vengeance. I can feel it from afar. I suppose my sister Demeter has more at stake in this than anybody on this mountaintop. Our enemy shall rue having crossed her. Each night presents to us a new beginning. Isn't that so, my dear? And on this night, I shall accompany you from the very start until the bitter end. Aphrodite has quite gleefully informed me that you and certain friends of yours have grown quite close. Well, if one thing leads to another, and you decide to make a serious commitment, I should be only too pleased to oblige. First Kronos and now Prometheus are back to haunt us, all because we've failed to get rid of them back when we had a chance. Who next, I wonder? You witches rarely need to come up with a means to dispense with the mortals for good. We've wise Athena holding back the front, but probably could use a score of others equally as capable. She has the Titan's raiders running scared, but even she can't always stop them all. Golden Apollo already offered you his aid, has he now? Always so eager to please. I find his constant doting bothersome. But doubtless you're more tolerant than I. We've sent young Artemis near to the border of your realm and ours. We require some additional awareness there, and you likely could benefit from a bit of covering fire. Sometimes I miss wielding a bow myself. No, I saw a flicker in the sky before, as though the moonlight shifted for a moment. But now it's almost like that light is shining from you. You drew Selene down. She would not answer such a call from most. This is hardly the first time I've been pressed to intervene on your side of the family's behalf. I've stood my ground. We cannot keep getting involved in each other's affairs. Yet, if you've come without offense, you're owed an exception. My mood darkens again, my dear, although it makes me rather generous, I think. Here then, the finest of my blessings. Go on and tie some knots. What a pleasant surprise. Admit it, girl. You would have taken any sort of blessing here and now, whether from me or any of my kin. Well, as the fates would have it, you're getting the very best. How fare you in your task of late, my dear? Much better than we fare up here, I hope. Oh, all of us are fine. Except being besieged does mean we're stuck in closer quarters than I'd like. There's not a moment's peace. Oh, at least Hephaestus is attempting to be of use. You'll have to excuse my sheltered son, girl. He'd much prefer to clang ceaselessly upon his forge than to be a part of polite society. There are many potent reagents growing on the surface here, if you know where to look. Mere roots and flowers to the untrained eye. But in your hands, or better, in your cauldron, they'll have you working magic like never before. How about we break ourselves out of this rut, girl? So here, this is the best I've got for you for now. Do make the most of it. Again, Lord Zeus has reached you first, has he? The noble son of Kronos and his lightning speed. You can't imagine just how quickly he flees from me sometimes. This night has left me feeling ill at ease, for many of our enemies are growing rather bold. Mortals experience fear when their lives are at risk, but this cannot be that.
My command of the heavens is nothing compared to the strength of our family bond. The Queen and I have stood together through worse times than this, haven't we, dear?
Why, we've stood together now through more hard times than I can count. I dare say we're well past due for a break. Perhaps after our present difficulties finally subside. Your descent into the underworld has only begun, but I would join you from the very first steps. I'd far prefer it to all my other obligations put together, let me tell you.
Life or death.
Perhaps you belong here on Olympus after all, showing such rudeness to me. Enough already. Here's a blessing that you could have had without a fight. Oh, mortal kind must take us for a pack of bickering fools, though they'd never admit it. We shall have to save face with them somehow. I'll ask that Demeter ensure more times of plenty are to come and such. Why, if it isn't my iridescent fan, illuminated even in the night, the easier with which to spot you wheresoever you may be. Should you require my immediate assistance, merely wave it about a bit. We must maintain decorum. Neither can we tolerate such insubordination. Look at us, bickering like an old married couple. What say we move on? Deep down, I value dissenting voices and opinions, but outwardly, no. We're royalty, my dear. We ought behave with a more regal bearing, yes? Ah, look, my dear, it's my beloved husband, the distinguished king of the Olympians, who shall lead us all out of this mess. How goes it, son of Kronos? Any news?
Oh, come now, Hera dear. For all your jesting with me, it can send the wrong impression to one unaccustomed to your dry and clever wit. You see that, Melinoi? Humor is the bond that makes marriage strong.
Such power you possess, my dear. Whatever it is you did to Typhon, that's a secret to be guarded well. We could keep it for you. Our vaults have never once been breached. Think on it, yes?